Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Lost Loving Life with Karen Chaston. Whoa, is that a bit of a rush? I thought I had more time, but anyway, I am here. So welcome. Please let me know where you're from if you're just tuning in. And today I've got something a little different sort of happening today. I don't know if any of you have had the pleasure of watching. Just a sec, I'm going to fix my life. Hi Gail, how are you? I look a little bit green, so let me bring some lights over. Does that look a bit better? Yeah, it does. I was looking a little bit green, but anyway, so I apologize for not being ready. Hi Gail, good to see you from the Gold Coast. I'm on the Goldie. Hi Grennan Blue, and hi Nicole. Great to see you all here. So today, I don't know if any of you have, from Auckland, fabulous. So you're about 3 hours ahead of us on the Goldie at the moment. So I don't know if any of you have actually seen, let me know, Ed Sheeran's performance at Michael Gadinski's memorial concert that they did last week. Have any of you seen his performance of, oh my God, why have I forgotten the name of it? It's called Visiting Hours. And he wrote it while he was in quarantine. Obviously, when he came out to do the show, he had to do 2 weeks in quarantine. And he wrote it in there. And the whole concept of it is that we can go and visit our loved ones in heaven. And he talks about, I wish I could come and talk to you about what's going on in my life. Have you sort of helped me out with this problem or that problem? And, of course, how I would, when I was leaving, I'm going to cry, but anyway, get you to pack up your bags and come home with me. Well, I'm going to share a link later for you to watch because I don't want you, obviously, to go off. It's a really, really great song. And it's a great concept. Imagine being able to go to heaven and visit your loved ones and, just sit down and chat with them and all that sort of thing. And it would be really nice, Gal. But it got me thinking, you know what? We already do it. We may not consciously remember the fact that we do it, but we already do it. We astral travel at night. We go on all of these adventures. Sure, we probably don't remember them, but we're still doing it. And our unconscious remembers it. And it's part of who we are. When we wake up, unconsciously we know where we've been and we know all the experiences that we're having. But also they are coming to visit us. They are here with us all the time, our loved ones. They are always showing us signs that they are around us. And it's just amazing when we actually do that. But in order for us to know that we're doing it and to be able to remember that we're doing it and that they're coming to us and they're showing us all of these signs and everything, it's really important for us to realize that it depends on where we're vibrating. And what I'm going to do, actually, before I do that, I've just realized, before I move on to that, hopefully you can read the words. So here's the words from Ed Sheeran's, from the song that he performed, as I said, at Michael Gadinski's memorial. So, Gal, it's nice to see that, my dad is here with me at times, anything electrical, right? So here's the words to his song. So hopefully you can read them. I've got them all up there. And it is an amazing song, right? But what's more important is that when we know how we vibrate, so this is what I want to talk about today. Why isn't that coming up? This is what I really want to get into and talk about today is our map of consciousness and where we're at and where we're vibrating. Because, sorry, I'm just going berserk on this. Let me go back. Okay, my thing has gone berserk. So just let me go back. One moment, please. My thing has gone berserk. So let me just get back to where we want to be, which is here. Right. Okay. Nothing is now working for me. Hopefully you're all still with me. Just let me get this working and then I will just be 1 sec. Isn't technology great that we all have these things to do? When they work fine, they're great, but when they're not, okay, what is going on? So I want to go back. 1 moment, please, everybody. Right, click on here. No, it's not going to work. Let me just get out of here. Stop sharing. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll stop sharing. Just give me a sec. I'll get this all working. And then, right, that's what I want. Insert view. Right. Thanks for staying with me, everyone. I know sometimes it's a little bit crazy, but anyway, let me just... I'm not having much luck today, and I do apologize because I was doing something and before I knew it, it was time to come live. So I do apologize. Okay, let me just get this right. Okay, now let me just come here. So I'm here. Right, now I'm back. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with me. So let me see. Okay, right. So now I'm going to share what I want to share so that we can talk about our vibrational scale. Right, that's what I want to deep dive into today, because when we're aware of where we are currently vibrating, we can then obviously grab a better feeling thought, understand how we can actually come to a place where we can vibrate up the scale. Because once we come, once we get above neutrality, which is at 230, we can then come into acceptance of what things have happened in our life. And, if you look at the Kubler-Ross, 5 stages of grief, it really takes a long time for people to come into acceptance. But look at the difference between acceptance and grief. You go from 75 to 350. Sure, you're not going to go in one step. It is a better feeling thought, and you're going to work your way up the ladder or up the staircase, as I love to say. But the thought is, today I want to talk about ways that we can actually not only come into acceptance, but come into love and joy, because that's where we ideally would all be loved to live in our life, in that higher vibration of love and joy. And I don't know about you, but I have found that when I come into joy, and it's actually not that hard to come into joy, I'm going to give you 8 little steps today on how you can more easily do it so that your life really does become just so much fun. It's so much easier for you to be able to do that, and that's what I want for you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about ways that you can move up this scale so that you can come into love and joy. So how does that sound? Just let me know how that sounds. I think it's totally amazing. But what I am going to do is I am going to get my screen into such a way that this will work. So got it. Okay. So much easier for everyone. So let me bring in... Right. So the first step. So we're going to create more joyful moments in your into your life. So keep letting me know. And the number one is what I talk about all of the time. So I'm going to post them here and we'll go from there. Right. I'm organized. Finally. So I do apologize for that. But anyway, here we go. So the first one is for you to understand your life lessons. Now, as you all know, I talk about it all of the time. There are over 40 different loss events that are going to affect each and every one of our lives. We are all going to have multiple major losses. And with each life's loss event, we are going to have different lessons to learn from them. And I have found that the sooner you grab that life lesson, the sooner that you can then come back into love, because we're on an infinite journey of going from love to loss and then back to love. And then we travel further along in loving life, and then something else happens. But they're all growth lessons, and I'm not going to detract from them. I totally understand that they are painful. They are life-changing. They are horrific. I've had many major loss events in my life, and I have found that the more that I deep dive into them and the more that I grab the lessons, it becomes less on me. Don't you just love our language? Lessons, less on me. So you can find the lessons. It's not easy. You got to do that deep dive into you. But the sooner that you grab that lesson, the sooner you can then understand why this event may have happened in your life, because you were able to see, what does this mean for me now? And what does it mean for me moving forward? Who am I going to become because this has happened in my life? You know, before my son passed away nearly 10 years ago, I was the CFO of a publicly listed company. There is no way I ever thought that I would become a life coach who specializes in loss. There is no way that I ever thought that I would have done the deep dive into loss. And loss is not just death, right? There are so many other events that are loss. You know, a marriage or a divorce, a job loss, your health, your wealth, even your pets. And if we go back to the 2020 pandemic, there's so many things, the minor ones came to the forefront: loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of status, changing work conditions, changing recreational activities, changing social activities. We're still having the flow-on effect of all of those changes, and our life is different. And it is about knowing how to bring that joy back into your life. And the more that we do that, the more that we can actually go, wow, this has happened, but look at all the lessons I've gained from it. Look at all the things that I have gained from it. And, I don't know about you, but I feel in the 2020 pandemic, there has been just as much gain as there has been loss. And then, of course, we move on to the second one, is a really easy thing to do. But when you're in the midst of a loss, it's not that easy to do. It's not that easy to think about, because a lot of us are sitting back and we're sort of going, this is so painful, this is horrible. We're just looking at the negative things. We're not looking for what this one is all about. And this one is to look for the joyful moments each day. Now, I said moments, right? I didn't say the joyful days. I'm saying the joyful moments, because there is always a joyful moment in every day if you choose to look for them. And the more that you look for them, the more that you will create them. So if you're in the midst of any horrific loss event, tragic, whatever it is that is occurring in your life, my condolences to you at this time. But also know that these things happen to assist you to grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And it is about you deep diving into it to find those joyful moments, because it's like we sprout a little seed, right? And the more that a little, branch or a little leaf will sort of pop out of the ground, the more that you can see that we're growing. And of course, the more we grow, the more that we will thrive. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but every single person's life journey is our number one priority or derivative is for us to survive. Our second one is for us to thrive. Now, not many of us get out of survival, and it's because we don't do these 8 joyful moments seeking activities that I'm sharing with you today. Because when we do them, we actually will come to a place of being able to thrive, because we're living in joy. So it's really important for us to understand this. Okay, so the first one is to understand the life lessons from everything that's happened. The second one is to look for your joyful moments in each day. Now, the third one, which I guess is what I've done, which is, why I'm on the journey that I'm on, to be quite honest, and I'm sure you can too, is to create a passion project. Now, something that you love to do, because I don't know about you, but when you have a passion project, it sort of just has a life of its own, and time seems to stand still when you are creating this passion project. And it can be anything that brings you joy, that brings you passion. That's why it's a passion project, because it just makes you feel so amazing. You're just so passionate about it. It's something that you just can't stop talking about. It's something that, if there's a lull in any conversation, you'll always bring it back to this thing because it's bringing you so much joy. So when you're in the midst of everything and you start to see a seeds of a passion project, even if it's just you starting to think about something that you'd like to do, and then from there you bring it into, let's design a plan for it. Let's design the action steps of what needs to happen so that this can come to life. And it may be a project that will take you, a couple of months to do, even a couple of years to do. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if you've ever watched NCIS with Mark Harmon in it. And I think his character's name is Jeffro. And in it, he has a passion project in his basement of building a boat. And every season, he takes a whole season to build this boat. And then I think he just pulls it apart and then he just builds it again, because it gives him something to take his mind off whatever he's doing. But while your conscious mind is focusing on the project, your unconscious mind is working through all of the issues of what's going on in your life. So it's like a distraction. It's a conscious distraction, whereas your unconscious mind is just working through everything, and it's sending you all of these amazing things for you to do. And it's helping you to understand what's going on in your life. So I'll just stop for a sec. Gail, my condolences for you. You've just shared with everyone that you have got your divorce papers today. And, it is sad. Any divorce is sad, no matter what reasons that you've decided that it's the best for both of you to go your separate ways. Of course it's sad. It's, you thought you were going to live the rest of your life together. So of course it's sad. My condolences. What I have found, and I've worked with a lot of people who have either just gone through a divorce or are going through a divorce, and what I've found is the more that you can love each other from afar, especially if you have children, so much easier your life will become. There's no reason why you cannot have an amicable divorce. There doesn't have to be this animosity between you. You can actually have an amicable divorce. And if you'd like to reach out and have a conversation, please, Gail, just PM me, or here's my email address for anyone to email me. But, just connect with me on Facebook or email me. Happy to have a complimentary 30-minute chat on my way of being able to assist you to make sure that both of you can actually, especially if you have children, can actually be in the same room and be able to have a conversation without just spewing all of this anger and hurt at each other, because it isn't a very emotional time. So, to bring more joy into your life, believe me, I would love to assist you with that, Gail. And of course, if you don't, that's fine as well. Okay, so from the passion project, right, So just imagine just sitting there and thinking about what to do and then slowly bringing it into fruition just through the idea of setting the plan. You know, you may have to go and learn a new skill or upskill or do something to be able to bring this passion project to life. And believe me, that's exactly what I did. I was a CFO of a publicly listed company. I certainly wasn't into all of this stuff. There was no way I was standing in front of videos as a CFO and creating, you know, and writing books and doing all of those amazing things. So, yeah, okay. So we are still friends and we share grandkids as many children. We share grandkids as my children are not his, but he loved them. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's great, Gail, and congratulations on that. It is about being great friends. So good on you. And who knows what happens down the track. Okay, so our fourth little tip for today in creating all of your joyful moments is, let me check in here, is for you to be able to check in with yesterday me. Okay, so let me just swap that one. I want that one. So check in with yesterday me. So what do I mean by yesterday me? So yesterday me is my only competition. That is the person that I say I'm in competition with. I always look back at yesterday me and I look at the things that she did, the things she said, and the way she did things. And I always deep dive into it. Was there a better way to do it? Is there something that I will not do the same way next time? Excuse me. Is there something that I will change next time I do exactly the same thing? Or is there something that I keep exactly the same because that was so perfect? So by always checking in with yesterday me, you start to create this persona of how can I improve from yesterday me? Okay. And no matter where you are in life, there is always something that you could do better. There is also always something that you would like to enhance. There's something you'd like to stop doing, start doing, or continue to do. But you have to consciously check in with her and just see exactly where she's at. And it's not to berate her. It's to actually assist her to bring her life into love and joy, or his life if it's a guy. And that's what this is all about. That's everything I do, is to help people to move beyond loss to create their better everyday life. It's that simple. And it's just I love yesterday me. I really do, because I have so much love and gratitude to you. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you here. I always have so much love and gratitude for her because I know that I'm on this continual life journey of creating my better everyday life, no matter what life throws at me. And I know that there's not a lot of this out there, which is why I love doing what I do. Okay, so the next step, for all those who have just joined, we are creating our joyful moments. We've got 8 steps that we're creating today to actually ensure that we're always vibrating at a higher level, that we understand where we're vibrating. We're understanding how can we step ourselves up and get a better feeling thought, and to always to create our most joyous and loving, fulfilled life. That's what it's about. We don't need to be stuck in the negativity of what's happening in our life now or at any time. So number 5 is for us to release your past baggage. Now, so many people love to carry their baggage along with them. They haven't done the deep dive into themselves. They haven't released all that it's cupping. Oh, hi, Barbie. Nice to see you here. Yes, I am taking a break. Aren't we all taking a break? Anyway, so what it is the next one is to release your past baggage. So when we release our past baggage, we deep dive into it. We get the lessons from it, which was exactly the first one that I got, which I mentioned, because there is so much in our baggage that we would like to apologize for. we would like to forgive and we'd like to acknowledge. But because most of us, it's painful to actually deep dive into it, most of us don't do it. But the beautiful thing about it is releasing your past baggage is you look through it and you actually do end up with these amazing things to apologize for, to forgive, and also to acknowledge. Because in every single relationship, and it doesn't matter what relationship there is two people in that relationship. So there is always things for each of us to be able to apologize for, release, and to also acknowledge and to forgive. Forgiveness is one of those things that so many people find it really hard to do. But I have found that the forgiveness actually is quite an easy thing. You do it for yourself. You're not condoning what they have done, but you do it for yourself. And if you are continually carrying around the hurt and the anger, saying things like, I will never forgive that person for what they did or said, forgetting about the whole length of the relationship, they're only focusing on this one little event that happened once over, a 5-10 year relationship. It's quite ridiculous. And I always love the saying that if you cannot forgive someone, it's like you're drinking poison expecting the other person to die. So let's think about that for a sec. So you're carrying around all of this angst and, anger and stressing your cells out, which will end up making you sick because you are making your cells diseased. So it's really good for you to be able to release your baggage because you are just so much healthier when you can deep dive into it and release it. Now, I'm not saying you have to condone it. There is a difference. But there is also another concept around forgiveness, which is radical forgiveness by Colin Tipping. And I always love his phrase of no one does anything to you, they do it for you. So when you deep dive into whatever has happened, you can really start to see how they did it for you. Because even though the event of what happened was absolutely, say, disgusting or not warranted, who you became after it is how they did it for you. Dan's passing was obviously horrible. No one wants to lose their child. Everyone wants their child with them. And, to be able to be living their life and growing and having, creating their own home and family and career and all those sort of things. But the person who I have become because of Dan's passing, that's where the gift is. And that's why it was easy for me to do all of this work and to create all of the programs that I've created, because I understand loss at such a greater level because of Dan's passing. I would never, ever have deep dived into it if I hadn't have had all the loss events in my life. And, with my accounting brain, I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to do loss. And that's what I was always like in my CFO role. I was always looking for a better way of doing any activity that I would do, any sort of little task. I was always going, there has to be a better way. There has to be an easy way. It has to be a quicker way. And that's what I guess I did when I actually left, that's when I went for. I went looking for that better way because, we've all created all of these amazing avoidance tactics so that we don't have to deal with our loss. So we don't have to release our baggage. We have created $1 trillion alcohol, food industries. We've created, Netflix, which is a greatest way to avoid whatever is going on in our life. We have anger. We have, shopping. We call it retail therapy. Like, seriously? We have so many things. We over-exercise, we overwork, and that's what I did. I went straight back to work, working harder, eating more, drinking more, and, wondering why I always was angry. So I used it all. So I understand, because the way that I help people now is I tell them to do everything that I, didn't do. Do not do the way I did it, because that's not the way to do loss. So that's where we're at. Thank you, Gail. I'm glad you're taking a break. That's nice to see you, Barbie. And okay, Michelle, I'll see you later. And Gail, thank you very much. So now we're going to move on to number 6, which is something that I feel is the greatest way for you to be able, just before this, good on you, Gail. Yeah, everyone does retail therapy. And it is therapy until we get our credit card statement. And then we go, what the hell's happened here? So our 6th way to bring joy into our life so that we can vibrate at a higher level is for us to choose your authentic self. Now, isn't that an interesting one? We all wear so many masks, and I know I used to wear a mask. I'm nothing like I used to be, nothing at all. I think most people in the corporate world are probably not showing their true authentic self, and especially women, because I know right from my start of my career, I was told, don't act like that if you want to get ahead. Don't be that person if you want to do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Be this. Be this. And before we know it, we've sort of lost our authentic self. We've just chipped away at here and there and there. And we look in the mirror and we go, who are you? Who are you? Are you the person that I even like? Are you doing and saying things that are true to you? Are you being authentic? And when we do that deep dive into us and really, really look into the mirror and actually say, who are you? And are you someone that I really would like to hang out with? Can you be my best friend? Or are you acting and doing things that just I don't resonate with? They're not my values. And until you are being and saying your true, authentic feelings and thoughts, you can't have joy in your life. It's really hard to be joyous when you're not being you. So it's a really important step, this one, to be your authentic self, to really be able to go the old Fonzie salute and go, hey, I really like you. I love hanging out with you, because you are being authentic to yourself. You are saying no when you want to say no. You are being true to you. I went out yesterday with my husband and I went out and we went to the movies, and before we went, we had a late lunch with our 2 friends. We caught up, and she said to me, I've got some of this stuff happening in my life. And she said, I'd really love your advice on it. I know you're a life coach. I'd really like you to help me with this. And I said, when are you going to start saying no? When are you actually going to start saying no to people? And she went, yeah, you're right. She goes, I am starting to. And I said, well, isn't it time for you to actually start to realize that when you are saying yes to others, you are saying no to yourself? And she went, oh, my God, you're so right. I'm just letting people put all these requests onto me, and I'm just saying yes, but I'm not having any fun and love in my life. I'm not joyous. And I said, one of the quickest ways for you to be joyous is for you to actually start being your authentic self. If you don't want to do something, say no. And actually, before you say no, just say, is this going to bring me joy? And I'm pretty sure the answer will be no. So then that's it. That's the first clue. Say no. If whatever request is coming your way and you don't want to do it, just say no. Just ask that question. Is it going to bring me joy? I'm not going to do it. Am I being authentic if I say yes to this? Do I really want to do it? Really easy to come up with that. Really easy. Hi, Kerry. Nice to see you here. Then the next one, right, we've only got two more. We're rolling along nicely here, aren't we? And this one I love. This one I've been doing for quite a few years. And that is for you to seek out positive people. You know, life is way too short to be hanging around negative people. The vibration scale that I showed you early on, which I'll bring up again for the people who may have only just come on, let me just get rid of this one so you can see it clearly. If you're vibrating at a really low level, like if you are, around having negativity in your life, where you've got people who are stressed out, who are causing all of you things, you're vibrating really, really low, below the 250, which is neutrality. If you're vibrating below that, it really is time for you to get rid of the negative people in your life, because they're going to keep you down. They're going to keep you stressed. You're going to be in fear because of their negativity, because all they talk about is negative stuff, which will bring you more into fear. So, and let's look at fear. Like, seriously, fear is vibrating at 100, right? We want to get up to 300 with love. So there is no way that you want to be a third of where you want to be. So it's really important for you to know that if you've got any negative people in your life, it's time for you to release them with love and kindness. Thank them for everything you've been in there. But just say, I'm sorry. I'm on a joyful seeking moments. That's all I am seeking in my life is joy. I'm at a time in my life is all I want is joy. I don't want stress. I don't want to go into negativity. I don't want fear. I just want love and joy. So that's what I do each day is I'm on this pathway seeking love and joy. Okay? And when you are on that pathway, positive people will come to you. I've just had so many people go, hi, Karen, I'm having a low day and here you are. These are the sort of people in your life that will totally come to you. The beautiful Barbie Cauthen who just popped in. It's amazing. She's one of the most positive people you will ever meet. And that's what has happened. You just attract these people. But you've got to start the journey. You've got to start looking at the negative people in your life. And if you're one of those negative people in your life, this is what this is about today, to assist you to vibrate higher so that you can become one of those positive people. It's so easy. Okay? And then, of course, the last one that I'm going to share with you today is one that you can so easily get. There is no excuse for you not to be able to seek this out. And what it is, let me just bring it up. Here it comes. To get your nature fix. Now, nature's all around us, right? But what you find is when you are trying to find more joy in your life, it's really hard not to be joyous when you're in nature. Take your shoes off. Just stand on the grass, stand on a rock, really grind your feet in and just feel it. And you will go, oh, my God, how amazing does that feel? You just can feel, one of my greatest activities is to go and stand and put my feet in the ocean. You don't have to put your whole body in, just your feet. And you can just feel all the negativity. You can feel everything just lifting from your head. You will feel just so joyous in that moment because it brings you into the moment. You cannot be around nature without feeling joyous. And even if it's just for a moment, which is what it's all about for you. Because remember, we started off with how can we lift your vibration? And I've given you 8 amazing tips. Good to see you, Gail. Thanks for being here. So sorry I have to go. I'll rewatch the rest later. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Yeah, I must admit, I do have a lot of great information. And the reason I have a lot of great information is because I seek it. As I said, I didn't like the way I was doing loss after Dan passed. I was avoiding it. I totally went into total avoidance. I went into what I called the Groundhog Day days, where every day just became the same, where I was working too hard, eating too much, drinking too much, and I wasn't healing. I had shoved it all down, down, down. And as I said, there's over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And it is about us knowing that everyone is going to have multiple major losses throughout our lives. So why haven't we been taught how to move beyond loss? That's why I started this show, is to help people to move beyond loss. And loss is not just death. It's really important that we all remember it. Loss is really change. It's when something happens in your life where you're going to be different today and tomorrow from who you were yesterday. And that's what it is. But it's realizing that you're going to be different. You're not going to be the same person you were yesterday. Your normal is now going to be different. And the more that we know that, the easier it is on us, because we go, okay, I can now create my new normal. I can now create a better way forward. I can look at what I've been doing and I can go, right, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to chuck that bit and I'm going to add some new bits into it, because you really are designing your better way forward. And you are the master of your life. You are the one that can put all of this formula together and create whatever you desire moving forward. And that's what most of us forget. We forget that we are the master we are seeking. We are the one who is putting all of these ingredients into our lives. It's not anyone else. You know, if you're not happy with your life, if you feel that there is something missing in your life, maybe that something is you. Maybe that something is you. Let's sit on that for a moment. What do you reckon? Are you in your life? Are you the one that is just doing what I did, going through that Groundhog Day days and wondering why there's no joy and love and fulfillment in your life? It's up to you to create it. Like, I want it for you, but you've got to want it for you. And the reason I want it for you is I know the difference. I know the difference of what happens in your life when you go from avoiding life, from pushing all of your past down and ignoring it through all of these amazing avoidance tactics that we have all created throughout the whole world. You know, what's this? It's an avoidance tactic. Of course it is. It's a distraction. You know, it's so that I don't have to do that deep dive into me. So if you feel that there is something missing in your life, maybe that something is you. You know, when I first heard that many, many years ago, I went, oh my God, I was missing from my life. You know, long before Dan passed, I was missing from my life. I didn't realize it. Anyone looking at me wouldn't have said, you know, something's missing from Karen's life. Everyone would have said, wow, look at Karen. Look how successful she is. She's got the job. She's got the house, the career, the family, overseas trip. She's got everything. What more would you like? But I was dying inside. I was dying inside long before Dan passed. I was constantly had this drum inside of me saying, when are you going to live your life? When are you going to love your life? When are you going to start doing what you really like to do? I wasn't even aware of it. I just thought that's what happens when you have this career and this salary. That's how life is. All my peers are exactly the same. They probably had exactly the same drum inside of them. When are you going to bring some joy into your life? When are you actually going to enhance your relationships, especially the relationship with yourself? That's why I say, it is always about looking. How can you bring the joy into your life? And that's what this is all about. And that's why I love doing what I do, because I am. I am the joyous person who comes into your life, and I assist you to be able to look at your life, right? I can't do it for you. Only you can do it. But I really would love you to just say, is there something in my life I'm missing? Is there something that I could be doing easier, better? Is there any relationship in my life that I'd like to enhance? Is there a relationship that I'd like to actually be able to have more fun with that relationship? It's just so hard at the moment. Every time we get together, we end up fighting. Do you have any relationships like that? Is there a way that you'd like to be that person who you just wake up every day going, oh my God, I'm so excited about what's happening today because it's going to be an amazing day. Even if you have nothing planned, it's going to be an amazing day because it's another day for you to find joy, for you to find love, for you to find happiness. There are so many things that you can be doing. It's just amazing. And that's what I would really love for you all. Okay? And the great news about it is that I have created this Revitalize Your Life, and I have posted the link to it up earlier. And here is the link for I'd love for you to check it out. So what is Revitalize Your Life? So because this I have found is a 45-day activity where each day I send you a new email, I load a new activity into your own little special area that you just log into. You don't even have to wait for the email. You can just log in. It'll be there waiting for you. And it's an activity that takes you like 45 minutes maximum each day. And I purposely made everything 45 because 45 adds to 9. And 9 is about an end of a cycle, okay? The energy of the numbers are amazing. Obviously, I'm an accountant, can't you tell? But more importantly, number 9 is the end of a cycle, right? And that's what this 45 days is about. It's giving you a new realization, a new perspective, a new way of looking at and doing things so that you can actually draw the line in the sand and go, right, at the end of this 45 days, I am going to have a new understanding, a new awareness on what to do, how to move forward, how to create that life that is going to bring me joy and love and fulfillment every single day. Because I don't know how to do that, but this gives you the clarity so that you can do that. So that's what it's about. And I have to say, everyone who's gone through it has come back and said, oh my God, what an amazing program. You've helped me heal. You've helped me move forward. But more importantly, I've purposely priced it at a point which is absolutely quite ridiculous. I could easily have done it for 10 times the price, but I chose not to. And the reason that I chose not to is because I understand that when you don't know who you are, you don't value you as you would be more ideal. So I've made it $1 a day. Yeah, you've heard right. It's $45 for the whole 45-day series. And I've purposely done that so that you can then start to tap into you, so that you can start to realize that you're the most important person in your life. You're the only person in your life that you are going to have your entire lifetime relationship with. There is no one else that is going to be in your life 24/7 every single day of your life. There's only you. And it's time for you to start to realize that and to value you and put you forward and put your dreams first and your hopes first and your aspirations first. And that's what this Revitalize Your Life does. It helps you to reconnect to you so that you can become a priority in your life. So click on the link, and thank you, Kerry, for saying it's a great course. Kerry was one of the first people to go through it. We had a chat earlier this year, and she was at a loss after a death of a close friend. And she was like, I'm really missing her. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, and we actually spoke before I even had finished the course. Like, and I was in the process of creating it. And of course, I got to a stage and I said, right, I'm at a stage now. And I reached out to her and I said, here you are. And I purposely made it that price so people can do it. Now, paying for the course is like a tenth of the rest. It's about then doing the activities every day for 45 days. And if you miss a day, it doesn't matter. You just go back to where you were the next day and you just keep going. You have access to the 45 days forever. I don't just give it to you for 45 days. It's there forever. So I highly recommend that if you are going through any sort of loss in your life, and guaranteed there will be something because we continually are going through love and loss. So I highly recommend that you actually click on the link here. I'll post it again so you don't have to go back through the thread to find it. Just check it out. Just have a look and see how it is. Now, beautiful Barbie Corfone, what are you saying in gratitude before I've even read it? Great words of wisdom. Thank you. And she has moved into a beautiful new apartment, looks totally over nature park. Oh boy, I have been re-energized every day. Nature is so beautiful. Yeah, great to see you here. And thank you, Barbie, for popping in today. I know after your big weekend at the Carrara Markets, I'm sure that you is your day of rest. And I know that you normally don't talk on Mondays, but it's good to see you can type and to tune in and listen. So thank you for being here. So everybody, another end of an amazing show as always. Next week is Easter. Oh, now, if you're at the beginning of my show, I shared with you the beautiful song that Ed Sheeran has created, which is called Visiting Heaven. Right? And I said, and thank you, Barbie. It is a crazy price. Oh, yeah, please tag your friend because it is amazing. But for everyone else, I've also posted a link here to the Ed Sheeran video of his new song, which was called Visiting Hours, which is all about the concept of being able to go to heaven and have visiting hours with our loved ones, okay, which was absolutely beautiful. And that's what started me on this thing on how to bring more joy into your life so that we can vibrate at a higher level. So I'm going to leave you now, but I just wanted one more show, just time. I just want to show you this vibrational scale because it's important for you to tap into every day and see where you are vibrating. Just see how you feel on that day when you wake up, and then do any of these activities that I've shared in this video, the whole 8 activities of what you can do just so you can get that better feeling for, so that you can start to continually vibrate at that higher level. Now, I'll read them one more time. So the first one was understanding your life lessons. Second one, look for your joyful moments in each day. And there are always many. The next one is to create your passion project, and that in itself is so much fun. Believe me, Revitalize Your Life was an amazing passion project for me. I had so much fun creating the 45 days, putting them together, even just coming up with the theme for the day was so much fun, and when to put them, all this sort of stuff. I had so much fun. And believe me, it took me more than the 6 weeks to actually bring it all together. It was amazing, but so rewarding and so worthwhile, not only for myself, but for everyone else who actually has taken the time to invest in themselves, both monetary and also in time, because our time is so precious. but I don't care what anyone says. I have never looked at a calendar where I could not find an extra 10 hours a week. So you can easily find that 45 minutes each day to do that activity. And believe me, the more you do the activities, the more energized you'll become, and the more that you'll just be jumping out of bed before the alarm even goes off, ready for not only that new activity, but also for the day that you are creating. So that's your passion project, right? The next one is to check in with me, yesterday me. Remember, yesterday me is the very most important person in your life. That person is the only person that ideally you're in competition with, because when you look at that person, you go, right, how can I create my better everyday life? She is the starting point, or he is the starting point, and now we're just going up and up and up. And there's always a yesterday me who is always improving on the day before. Then, of course, you can release your past baggage. You can choose to be your authentic self. Most important thing you can ever do. Check in with yourself. Are you being true to who you are? And then, of course, seek out positive people, because the more positive you are, the easier it is for you to vibrate up that scale. And then, of course, you can get your nature fix, which Barbie has so beautifully shared with me today. So, everybody, as I said, that is an end of another show. I will be here next week, even though it is Easter Monday. So tune in. I might even do a special theme, something different to talk about, seeing that it is Easter. You know, I could deep dive into a book, and I must say, if you are a book reader, I can highly recommend a book that is called Anna, Grandmother of Jesus. I guess it's appropriate to say it, seeing it's Easter. Really different. It enhances the way that we have viewed, I guess, his life. So, yeah, great book. Anyway, thank you for being here. It's been really great to share how you can create your joyful moments. Deep dive into them. I'm sure you can do them yourself. If not, check out the Revitalize Your Life, because believe me, the whole 45 days will bring you the clarity so that you can have joy and fulfillment in your life. Bye for now, and I'll see you all again next week. Have an amazing week. Bye.